It's definitely getting warmer suddenly. I wanted to share about my internal experience on thoughts and feelings. So basically, what I observed is that if I don't share what is really going on inside, then I'm only consuming what is going from the outside. So that makes me quite enslaved into the outside world, but maybe it's not true. I don't know. Maybe that's just a wrong observation, but that's what I'm observing. So I noticed that I have to share more and more what's going on from inside to actually realize every day new, because it's like a veil of forgettingness or something. I don't know. It's like a veil of reality to, and nobody's doing it. I think it's an automatic system that it just to keep everyone in the same sort of state. It has this sort of mental, energetic luring in. And I think it's automatic. So the awareness is not there to conquer it, but just really to be aware, to switch then to the internal dialogue. And because the internal dialogue can always be led by you, right? Because the internal dialogue, you can speak out and you can choose your words consciously as you speak. Everything outside, you can't control thoughts and feelings that are happening around you. And, you know, as long as, so the action, like I realize more and more into my journey later on, and it's really like it was hidden into the awakening journey that everyone is talking about being and being and being, but it's actually not 100% correct. Being is for certain people, okay. And that's actually, I think, a lower percentage of energy types. If someone is familiar with human design, for me, it helped me a lot. That I highly recommend it. Um, so basically, most energy types actually are action types. Doers, and doers can mostly generate amazing energy by doing. Yes, by speaking as well, but actually by doing it. So actually the lowest amount of non-energy types who are beings, who you have to be the being, like, people who say that, oh, you have to just be, they have no clue what they're saying, actually, I believe. I'm so sorry, but it's true. I don't think they know what they're saying if they're saying being, because they just repeat like, puppet what other teachers did, because I know that I'm doing it sometimes unconsciously, and it's just again a human spell of society. Nobody's doing it. There's no good and bad in that terms, like who's guiding it. It's just what's happening. Momentum of energy, and if not aware of it, you just get swooped up. Swoopity swoop. That's why there's no real guilt or shame or blame. If we use it just for fun. But there's actually no reality in that, to guilt, shame, blame anything, because there is just what's happening. And it's swoopity swoop, swoop, swoop. And I see it so much how it can, even 6 years on my journey and being aware, how it can still swoop me up sometimes. And I'm going like, what? What's going on? Why did it swoop me? Clearly, it swooped me because it needed to be experienced, otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. But at the same time, the awareness gets trained more and more into um, stabilizing yourself, over and over and over and over again. And it's so fascinating because when I started this healing journey, I thought, okay, let's just do it, and then eventually I will be done, and then I will be okay forever. Good luck with that. No, no, I don't want to say anything, because if people want to keep this dream alive, you're so welcome. I kept it so long alive. The thing is, it's a constant maintenance. It's like having a car. You can't just zhuzh it up and have like a supercar made out of a, normal basic car and then not maintain it. You made your supercar, and now you not only have to drive it smartly, safely, but you also have to, maintain it regular, because the supercar has much more, installations now. I don't know why my spirit wants to have this analogy of a supercar. Funny, because I'm not even into cars, but like clearly the outside world swooped me up in that. But yeah, so I had to realize for myself that it is a constant maintenance and constant awareness. And it's not even like, oh, you are aware. Yeah, but then you also need to have a really solid plan. What are you doing with what? You know, what are you doing with about it if you feel swooped up and lost, or not lost, but like, swooped up into the mass consciousness, which is not evil. It's just something that people who are on a spiritual journey, especially when they want to be much more in their essence and in presence than being swooped up by mass consciousness, it feels a little bit dirty. Let's be honest about it. Feels a little bit yucky. Feels just off. Feels different than being in the essence of pure positive energy. You know, the flow of pure positive energy is so much nicer. Let's just be real about it. So that's why, what are we doing if we're getting swooped up? And I'm only like talking because if I'm talking, that helps me. And that's actually exactly the point that I want to make. Because if I'm talking out loud and I'm into action of, you know, being aware what I'm doing, physical action of walking, and walking as if it's your first day of walking, move, that's an activity, that's a conscious moving of your body that brings you completely back into your, you know essence, as well as talking about it, because if there is like a lot of, like, I don't know, unhappiness or some sort of a misbelief, and you think like, what, but I dealt with it like years ago, or like months ago, or whatever, like that's not even my level of consciousness anymore. You just go like, oh, you swoop in, you go inside, and then you start talking about it, because the action of talking, it's not the being. The being is first like observing it, like, that's it. Oh, there's a noisy car. So the being is the observing of it, the first stage. But what you gonna do about it? You have to do something about it for sure. If people say you just be, this could take forever. I don't believe in that. I believe in shortcuts. I believe in action driven, because I'm an action type. I'm a manifest generator on human design. If you want to look up your own design. But I believe as an energy type, I am here to do something about it, about my state, because I can choose to generate positive energy. I can choose to generate. Yes, I have my like, the healing journey brought me already to a much higher baseline for sure. And for most spiritual people, and that are on the journey and doing the work, the proper work of, looking into their shadows, looking into their pattern, changing their pattern, not only looking into it, but changing the pattern. um, Actively bringing goodness into society, actively bringing love upon someone, actively bringing love upon themselves. It's an action. It's the same like in a relationship. Yes, we can be unconditional hanging out together, but if there's no action of showing the love, what happened with you? No way, Jose. This is unrealistic. Like unconditionally loving can only, God, the universe, us, I believe. And even mothers or fathers, no, if you treat them like beep, no, there's no way on a human level you can be unconditional because the abuse would be not healthy for you. So eventually you would need to step away. So there is only one way to be unconditional, and that's unconditional to be with life and with yourself. That's the only unconditional love that actually exists in the world. To life and yourself. To people, no, because that would be complete insanity. That would be a concept that cannot be forced. But there can be an intention of unconditionality. Yes, that's different, but that's again from you. That's not the person. It's from you, the unconditionality of living towards yourself and life, and then automatically it happens towards people, I believe.